fixed in time.
Yeah, most often it seems the victims in these kind of stories are anonymous. We don't know who they are, but not tonight.
No, a Hollywood actor, Anton Yelchin, is dead, and investigators are looking at a Fiat Chrysler recall as the problem. Let's get to business editor Rod Maloney. He joins us now live with the story. Rod, this is just heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is, Carmen. Now, there are three vehicles in this recall. You've got the Chrysler 300, the Dodge Charger, and the Jeep Grand Cherokee. That is the one that is getting the closest look right now, and it has to do with whether your vehicle is in park or not and what might happen to you. 27-year-old up-and-coming actor Anton Yelchin, who has now played Star Trek's Chekhov in 3 different films, the next one to come out in the next week, died yesterday in what could only be described as a freak accident. When he didn't show up for a rehearsal, co-workers discovered he'd been crushed to death by his Jeep Grand Cherokee that wedged him up against his mailbox and a security fence. Police are saying it struck him after rolling backward down his steep Studio City home driveway. The Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo Yelchin drove had been recalled earlier this year. This is what the FCA recall said at the time, quote, "The affected vehicles may not adequately warn the driver when the driver's door is opened and the vehicle is not in park, allowing them to exit the vehicle while the vehicle is still in gear. The consequence, drivers thinking that their vehicle's transmission is in the park position may be struck by the vehicle and injured if they attempt to get out of the vehicle while the engine is running and the parking brake is not engaged." Today, Fiat Chrysler put out this statement, quote, "FCA US extends its most sincere condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Yelchin. The company is in contact with the authorities and is conducting a thorough investigation. It is premature to speculate on the cause of this tragedy," end quote. Now, Chrysler is saying that there are warnings. The dashboard will ping and you'll get warnings that this situation exists for you. And the vehicles that are in common here have the 8-speed transmission. And so what this becomes is sort of that cautionary tale. If you own one of these vehicles, you really have to be very careful about getting out of that vehicle while it's running, thinking it's in park where it could be a problem. But there is an investigation ongoing. Chrysler trying to figure out what it has and what it can do, Fiat Chrysler can do in this situation. And whether, in fact, this was the problem, we still don't know. Back to you.
So when are the cars going to be available to be repaired?
Well, it's the parts that are the issue, Carmen, and one of the problems for Anton Yelchin is that the parts didn't or don't become available until July and sometime in August when people can start getting the repairs on their cars, and so it was a little too late for him, apparently, at least as what people are thinking at this point. But again, much more to look at before we know for sure what transpired here.
All right, our Rod Maloney reporting for us live.